Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here and we are live. Little collegiate Rocket League action coming hot at you. I'm FBI Tugboat here with me, back in the saddle for the first time of 2026. My man PyroJ, how you feeling?
Feeling great, Tugboat. Spring semester is here, and so are the Rocket League competitors. We've got three fantastic matches here today, Tug. I'm just ready to dive in.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And folks, you'll notice, as is custom here at the NECC, we like to jump around a whole lot, not just regionality, right? So different geographical locations, but as well as across different divisions. We'll be staring down the barrel of a D3 match, a D6 match, followed up with a nice and spicy Division 2 matchup. So some of the higher end players doing battle there at the end. I'll run through our schedule here for the day. We have the CMU Eagles, that is the Central Methodist University Eagles, taking on the Missouri State Bears. Yes, CMU, that is going to be Yo-Yo Broman, hands down the best name of these six. Asher and Floofers. Big shout out to the coaching staff, that is AZ or Arizona Roadrunner. Would you run through Missouri State for me, sir?
Absolutely. We got Spicy, Top QZ, and Andrew. And the roster runs deep over there. I saw Kronovi there on the sheet for the team, too. So that'd be fun to have him get a little substitute action in. But now I'm sure he's helping call the shots and keep the team on par in this tough Division 3 format. I mean, there's a lot of divisions in NECC. And Div 3, it gets serious, Doug.
It's true. It's very, very true. Yeah, it's not just 3 or 4 divisions, as you guys noticed. You know, D6. I think we go down to D8. So you're talking about all kinds of representation within the fantastic organization that is the NECC. That'll be the Arcadia Knights taking on PSU Black later, and then Florida Southern, that's the Moccasins, taking on Florida and Gators down there in the great state of Florida. Which means, of course, we have 3 interstate rivalries today, PyroJ.
It's fantastic. You know, we could get just the college action in, but we had to find out who the best of the state was as well. It's not often that we get that, you know. They're combined in their regions, but state action is great, just as is the passing capabilities already from CMU. Couple balls put right there in front of the net. The third chance, that's going to be the one.
Yeah, just repeated offensive attempts here from these Eagles, and no coincidence, they take it from on high. A little bit of a bouncer, and this one gets in. Slow is the way to go for this one. 38 seconds in, and the Eagles take first blood.
And I was impressed with the defense from Missouri State. I mean, you had a couple passes that were waterfall down, which means they're going to end up directly in front of the net. All you really need is a shot taker to barrel in, and you've got the goal. So they put away some lethal chances. It just became too much with all that pressure.
That was a great takeaway here from Spicy, trying to tap it to a teammate. Can't quite get it. Great defense as Andrew uses the wall to make that ball go the way that they wanted to. A huge high-flying hit to the corner, out and more. Nobody on the other side there for the Eagles. That was a fantastic setup otherwise.
I mean, Floofers had the angle it seemed, but apparently it was too narrow for his liking as it cracked right off the post. That gives the advantage over to Missouri State. Asher couldn't get in front of it, but Yo-Yo Broman just a little bit better at finding the defensive stop. CMU Eagles, a couple chances taken away already as they spin back to the orange side.
Got to say, these Bears, hey, it's February. I'm not exactly sure when Bears quit hibernating, but it really does seem like their gameplay has changed in the past 90 seconds or so. Maybe a little bit of rust shaken off. Regardless, we're about 45 seconds away from halftime, and it's just been constant back and forth possessions, takeaways, giveaways, however they happen. Possession is just flip-flopped back and forth.
Yeah, 3 shots for each team, and that was the third for Missouri State. Seemed like it was the lucky one as well. Floofers gets that stop, but Andrew, all was needed was a pop shot to the top corner.
Asher maybe a little bit low on boost, just had to burn everything just to get up there and even try and make a play on this one. Perfectly slotted, you know, hitting it at whatever angle you can get it. Whichever way, it's a score, and we got a tie game. 3 minutes left right here after a initial demo for the side of Central Methodist. Down low, tries to get to the corner, and Spicy reads this one out perfectly.
I mean, what do you do there if you're Asher, right? You get past that first defender that's quick challenging you, and you can't get past the backboard defender. Missouri State had that all locked up, but it's about stopping rebound chances. They get away with a close one on that last attempt, and now on the counterattack there, once again, cutting off those quick shots from CMU Eagles that are trying to take advantage of those infield passes. Maybe on the counter now, it's Andrew of Missouri State to set up shop. Pass over to Topaz up top, is also denied. So a lot of congestion here in the center of the field to take away those passing plays that would otherwise make for great shots.
I have to agree, and it is the elimination of opportunity of your competitors that will frequently yield a team having better opportunities themselves. As far as the name, I originally read it as Topaz as well, just doing the gamer thing to replace the Q for the A. But Top QZ, I like either one, honestly.
We'll go whichever way is floating our boat here. As that ball just barely floats above the shot taker there. I thought for sure we had a CMU lead. It appears as if we do.
Floofers set up the previous score for the CMU Eagles early, and a better job getting it done themselves on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see Floofers is really a striker for this team. He actually ties every teammate with the number of shots each player on that roster with 2 shots, but right now Floofers has to play defense. It's a good catch and release off the backboard. Impressive mechanic in the game of clearing the ball while also landing on the backboard. It's kind of like juggling. You got to do a few things at once, and Floofers is multi-talented. That we have already recognized.
Yeah, setting up shots, getting in themselves. Now you're a little bit of a juggler yourself, right? Am I remembering this correctly?
Oh, I've tried. I can't tell you what I've succeeded, but I've certainly tried.
Hey, every person who has succeeded greatly before has tried first. Down low, a tipper, and Spicy ties this one back up with 60 seconds to go. Hey, some fantastic Rocket League early. Again, this is D3 Midwest B.
And this is really the first time that Missouri State has actually succeeded on a counterattack. You saw CMU nearly a drag race, trying to get to that ball first, just couldn't manage. I love this fake play on the kickoff, though. Set play here for CMU. Can they score off of it? Nearly. But Topaz is the one to deny as we're under a minute remaining, all tied up exactly the way we served it here on NECC, right, Doug?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to give the good people a little bit of quality Rocket League to start off with. Well, we're in game 1. We're 30 seconds away from going to overtime, PyroJ. How about that? Topaz against the back wall, tries to get it to a teammate, and this is not an Eagle squad that's going to make those minor mistakes early. That's a little bit too high. It's on the rebound, though. Spicy almost gets their second in about 35 seconds.
Now, hard take off the wall is taken away by Floofers, so 10 seconds, and is it going to be Missouri State to be able to turn this around? Andrew gets a good 50, streaks right past the defense, gets over to Spicy, tries to slice the defenders, but it is the stop made by the defense, and the ball lands still. We've got extra time.
I tell you, Pyro, after seeing the physical play right there, this is a game that the CMU Eagles are going to be really, really glad did not last for 5 minutes and 1 second. Last bounce territory, and that ball had been aerial, maybe a different story, maybe not in overtime now, but a little bit of aggression here and early. A great clear for Asher. Back the other way, Spicy picks this up on the parallel side perfectly and keeps that momentum running. This is a squad here for Missouri State. These Bears are perfectly willing, kind of moving this horizontally, not just directly snapping it all the way across the pitch initially to try and set up an offensive drive.
Got to use that width of the field. No doubt about it. Yo-Yo Broman trying to use all 4 wheels to stay on the backboard and actually get a touch on the ball. That's a difficult maneuver to make. The teammate comes to bail them out. Near stop made, but still this ball in dangerous territory. Topaz, what an angle to get the shot as Floofers makes the save. A reaction that really only Floofers may have been able to make. I can't believe that didn't go in. And now it's a 2v1. Topaz bumped. Spicy there in time to break it away.
Yeah, great defensive play there from Spicy. Even better one from the other side. It's got to eclipse 100%, folks. 99.99 doesn't count. That's what it looked like there from Floofer, earlier. Another solid attempt right here. Did an epic save on the backside. Andrew going to be setting up Topaz. That's just a little bit too quick on the pass. to have really done anything with. Andrew, decent positioning here, but gets it taken away down the other way. Maybe a little bit of a run here for the Eagles, and this is just influenced just a little bit too hard. It goes way over the side. Asher down low, but they have a blocker there. Topaz should be rolling this one out as we eclipse the 100-second mark in overtime.
I like the risks being taken from both teams here. You're seeing the pinch plays, the double tap passes. Everyone's trying to take the other team off guard for a shot. This one might just be open. It's a low bouncer. Oh. And yes, yo, bro, man, the bouncer is good.
Yeah, hey, that's exactly where they started. It's exactly where they finished. This one, 56 kilometers per hour, and it was hit at the very, very back end. First one, if memory serves, 53 kilometers per hour. So game one going to a nail-biting overtime situation. Let's take a look at the numbers now. And yeah, what is that? 10 for one side, 11 for the other side. Shots-wise, 7 saves, 5 saves. I don't see significant differences here between these numbers, Pyro.
And that's why we ended up in overtime at the end of the day. But I do see significance in one player of Floofers, I think from beginning to end, which is instrumental because you want to get into this match and show that you came ready to play. Of course, it's the first match of the spring semester. So some players might be warming up. So if you can come in hot, that's great. Floofers making just wonderful plays on both sides. I like the attempted shots from very difficult angles. We saw Floofers on an unbelievable save on the goal line. Ball was probably 90% of the way in. Still found the denial. And then the saves made where they make the save, land on the backboard, and clear it again. There's just a great presence that Floofers is operating on for the Central Methodist University Eagles here that I've been really impressed by.
Yeah, I have to agree. A well-rounded player is frequently one. I mean, you get 3 of those together in a Rocket League team, it's going to be really difficult, Pyro, to beat that squad. And plus, what? 100% goal participation. That's the thing we didn't mention, right? 3 goals total scored, 2 of them assisted by Floofers, 1 of them actually put in by them, and I believe assisted from the teammate. And that's something else personally I always love to see as well, the 100% assist rate, right? Nobody just necessarily getting it done themselves.
Team game, no doubt about it. Everyone involved and a whole lot of involvement on that play. That would have been a very difficult redirect to find for CMU, but Missouri State being tested in a lot of ways here. Having to read these wild decisions. Asher denied on the flip reset. Rarely do you see a player grab a flip reset from their shot and not be able to utilize it because they get demoed mid-air. So Missouri State may be playing defense, but they are hunting with these demos. Problem is Floofer is going at another aerial attack, but it is stopped.
Maybe a mild difference showing its head 60 seconds so far into this game number 2, but a lot of the aerial stuff that this CMU squad was trying earlier is just getting read out a lot earlier, and defenders just coming off a backboard, completely stopping this one. Maybe some more passing plays, again, using the width of that field that found them value across game number 1. But it's just been a couple solo attempts thus far. Topaz, top QZ, however you want to say it, down low, but offense just really giving them a whole lot of a buffer zone, we'll say.
Asher, well positioned to pick up that pass, and so it does force Missouri State to get the quick clear. Spicy missing the ball and having to play lead blocker, but then applying the brakes. Felt a little out of place on the roll there, and so it's really opened up the space now to shoot for CMU again. I mean, the shots are getting tallied here. 3 for them so far. Feels like a 4th could come at any moment, and Yo-Yo Broman, had that been on target, that may have been it, but Missouri State happy to see some of those shots miss in terms of getting in between those uprights.
Double commits earlier on defense did not come back and bite them. Double commit on defense here necessary. Asher up there for it, and Andrew immediately takes demos. Afterwards, it's a wide open net. Andrew and the rest of this Missouri State squad get physical in just a couple of seconds, right? So there's the second, actually. Andrew took down the first, and there's just nobody home, and the lights are on.
Yeah, I feel like there was some boost over ball action there on the defensive side too, and those decisions aren't the worst. You do have to take risks at times, but when they're coupled with demos on your teammates, it leaves you very much lacking on the defensive side, as we saw happen. So great resilience so far out of Missouri State Bears. They've spent a lot of time on defense so far in this game, but they do have the lead. They're forcing this ball away yet again.
Unsurprised that we got 5 total scores in the first one, and then now we're passed through more than half of a Rocket League game, and we only have one. Both teams opting to play much more defensive-minded and not really rely on what it was, bouncing slow balls for the Eagles squad earlier, and it was kind of more convoluted plays for Missouri State in game number 1. Down the other side, not exactly where they want to put that one, but Asher fixes the problem before it really turns into one. A fantastic redirect, my goodness. Nicely done there, Spicy.
Spicy, coming from their opponent's back line, able to spin around for a high precision shot. Sometimes you just hope you've got the accuracy or the power for something like that. Spicy finds both and extends this lead to 2 for Missouri State. CMU, a lot of work to do if they want to up the ante. Flip reset shot from Asher won't do it, but they've got the rebound here, still sent away. Yo-Yo Broman, another chance, but gets a tough start from off the ground, and so it's laid back over to the other side. Floofers the center ball to nobody.
Yeah, a weird hit there earlier. I thought Flooper was going to absolutely tee off on that one. Asher can't quite get to the ground. Topaz already has 4 on the floor. Fantastic defensive stop right there. As we are, Missouri State is enjoying their biggest lead differential of these 2 games. Even overtime, of course, that went a couple of minutes plus. Asher gets it past the player, but they play goal, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Come on the line, open net, Floofers finishes the job. And I guess CMU took a little page out of the handbook from Missouri State. They said those demos weren't fun. How do you like them?
Yeah, fast one, right close. Really just close that gap and take advantage of it when it's a bouncing ball. Easier play, but it is one that was set up by several efforts. Asher up to it, Floofers. Man, they came real close to doing it earlier. Nope, it's going to be Asher from on high, and nobody can be surprised. 2-2, so we're about 50 seconds left. This is, 11 seconds off of where we finished game 1 at, Pyro?
Yeah, that's right. I'm still almost speechless by that read from Asher. Having to read that off the back wall when you're in your opponent's net and then hitting it so delicately under the crossbar. I'm just left astonished by Asher's shot. We have seen some unbelievable goals here in game number 2. This could be a long series that is formed into many highlight reels by the end of it.
Oh, Yo-Yo Broman's, 180 degrees backwards. That's a different story right there. And they're able to spike this one in easily. Again, convoluted plays coming in from this Missouri State squad. And they connect with this one. Yo-Yo Broman tries for it. The CMU Eagles squad, 10 seconds to go. Maybe the last offensive push.
Saved by Asher at the last second. We'll go to overtime for game number 2, as we did in game number 1. Sending it to extras. Asher's already up off the ceiling if they want the pass from Floofers. And they do. What a ripper for the OT win.
Wow, this is an Eagles squad that said, hey, we liked how game 1's overtime finished. I don't like the fact that it took us 2 minutes. How about 6 seconds, folks? What an absolute fantastic passing play set up right here. And once again, it's Asher that cashes the check. I mean, that was 2 goals for them, obviously. You see it right here. 6 shots attempted is impressive in and of itself. I would love to get like 2 goals within X amount of seconds, because that really was, I mean, it was less than 60, right? When you're able to do that twice in a minute, your team is frequently going to go forth and profit. Fantastic stuff. Taking a look at these 7 saves. That's another number that jumps out to me. 750 points with no goals, and not the most shot attempts on their squad either. Big shout out to Topaz and the defensive efforts.
Yeah, it's one of those stat lines that you don't always want to flex, because it means that you have to play way too much defense and you're weathering so many shots. That's a lot of pressure to put on a single player. And the pressure is going to mount now for Missouri State. It is the best of 7. Teams do need 4 wins, but this is 2 in a row from CMU. And this one especially stings as it felt like one that Missouri State just should have had. And to get scored on in that way, so stylistically in overtime, I mean, the momentum has swung completely against their favor. They're going to have to put in a lot of the legwork here into game 3, I think, to bounce back to where they were.
Yeah, hey, it's a game of momentum here. We'll see if this is the Missouri State squad that's able to stop this, the snowball that goes down the mountain, turns into an avalanche, get one back right here and get to much more comfortable, because result goes the other way, goes the CMU Eagles' way. This will be really quickly, even if it isn't indicative of the overall scoreline, right? We commentators love to say that. I mean, 2 games overtime, I think it's a fair statement, but, they lose another one 3-0. No one wants to drop that early, or drop down that far that early, force yourself into a reverse sweep situation.
Not where teams want to be in the best of 7. So will it be a connection off the wall? Not quite. I do love how tight the comms are between these 2 teams. A lot of the centered balls, I don't want to say every single one, but most of them from both teams have been caught by a teammate. This one off the back wall seems free for Andrew, but it's taken off target. Topaz tried picking up the mid boost. It didn't spawn, nor would it for Andrew. And Spicy's too far inside to pick it up, so they'll have to go back and try again. Andrew air dribble past 1, takes the dunk on the second. Topaz reams in for the ball, but won't collect. And now it's extra time for CMU Eagles, but no one's there. Somehow Floofer saves the day. Asher jumps up for a second save. And as the ball trails back down to the ground, it's anyone's for the taking.
I think everybody got a shot at attempts on one side and everybody got a save on the other. Everybody getting a hand into this one, or at least playing their role and their position perfectly. Andrew on the back foot, trying to get back to their net. Floopers is left without much boost and just kind of a slow drop to watch this ball. Back and forth, Yo-Yo Broman punishes this player for just touching onto this ball. Floopers cuts in for it, but it's going to be the teammate off the top bar. Are you kidding me?
These chances are so close. They're too close, Tugboat. I mean, teams need to earn like 0.75 of a point on the scoreboard or something. They've basically earned these goals, but fractions. Not a computation here in Rocket League. It's either through or it's not. And they still got 3 more minutes to figure that out.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I want half points for my really good attempts, right? 15 seconds away from halftime. Floofers puts it over to a teammate. Asher actually beats the defender there. Down low, Floofers comes with another opportunity after getting the ball back. And it's just a classic Missouri State defensive block, right? It's not just a block, but they send this all the way down to either way. No pass necessary.
Ooh, Cookster pitch goes absolutely nowhere for Central Methodist, so they'll have to catch and release and try again. But Floofers, what a surprise there. Not what Spicy expected for that successful dunk to be made on 2 players. Now they're essentially triple committing in the corner. A good 50 to a teammate would have scored there for CMU, as Missouri State looking scatterbrained and nearly scattered across the pitch through a goal explosion. They just can't put it through. Another post hit, and somehow CMU walk away with nothing.
I'm emitting all kinds of sounds on that previous offensive attempts. 3 or 4 of them right there as well, and it looked like one might have been even easier than the next. Just a series of misplacements and tiny, tiny miscalculations leading to that, that limiting second situation, right? A series of unfortunate events.
At some point, it's got to turn around, at least for one of these teams. Spicy could find it with a simple flick. Gets past 1, saved well by Asher. Look at the ball control. Still behind this one on 0 boost, forcing the defense's hand onto the save. It only propels off his car for CMU to try again. Floofers up the corner. Can't read the touch there from Andrew. Keeps it wall side, but the miss from a teammate leaves Andrew back in position to take the ball into a flick. That's a leading demolition. Goalie gone for Topaz, as Andrew can't hit the ball either, and so it's nearly a free shot. Spicy finds the save, and yet again, CMU are wondering, what will it take to score?
There's been a lot thrown at both of these teams. We got much more physical earlier. Now it's just simply about getting to the ball as the tempo has been turned up to 11. Floofer's corner. There's nobody receiving this one. Spicy comes up to it, an uncharacteristic miss. Topaz going to have a free opportunity at least. Pressuring a defense, never a bad thing.
9 shots to 5 in favor of CMU. Will the 10th be the one? Double digits could put a single digit on the scoreboard. Asher out to a teammate. It's cut off. Floofers will fake the touch. That's what we'll call it, at least, as Andrew struggles to get 4 wheels on the ground. It's taken to the other side. Asher gets boost but not ball. Topaz gets dunked. That ball should hit the ground as we're set for a 3rd overtime, which is exactly where we'll go.
0-1. That'll be the result of this 3rd game. Who wins it, I do not know, but it was 3-2 and then 3-2, both in overtime, as PyroJ mentioned. 6 seconds was the 2nd game's time, like 2 minutes and some change was the 1st, so no idea what to expect here. Either one of those seems like it could have gone, well, the 1st one seems like it could have gone either way. 2nd was rather quick. Regardless, 20 seconds or so into this one as Yo-Yo Bromance just trying to roll this down. Plays with the wall, gets it to a teammate, and that's just a little bit too wide as members of the defense weren't necessarily in position. A solid attempt.
Yeah, the mispositioning was actually forced. There's a lot of goalie bump action, some risks being taken, especially by floofers, to play off the ball, take the defense away, force them outside of that position, and get some back passes to connect for the goals. Floofers works wonders on the other side of the field through disruption and passing plays to create the lane for the win.
He does a great job getting this ball off the wall. Floofers to Yo-Yo Broman. And it just kind of seems like Floof has been involved in 75% of these goals. I mean, there's 7 total here for CMU, 4 on the other side, all of them being 1-score differentials. 5 shots right there coming into overtime. Floofer's 5 shots did tie Missouri State as the full trio. Just kind of seems like individual times. For this time, it was Missouri State's Andrew. Of course, no goals right there, but all of them with 2 saves and a quartet of shots for him to tout.
My, oh my, some wild OTs that we've seen today, Tugboat. 3-0 is a series score,
Which one?
but yeah, nail-biting finishes for each and every one. I will call out another thing about CMU Eagles. Like they know their risk assessment is really solid. They didn't really start getting those lead blocker demo boost stealing plays until really the final minute, and then as you saw in overtime, Floofers again leading that charge, but as a team they understand what roles to play and when to play them. That's something that a lot of teams won't communicate on or do so cohesively, and so just that decision making alone was the step above for me for CMU.
Yeah, it's one of those things that has to be learned and not really taught as much. You can say, hey, communicate, speak to your teammates about what you're doing. This is such a fast-paced game that there is not, it's not time to have a thesis statement at the beginning, and Topaz makes a statement of his own. The hypothesis proven, or whatever, for the college paper class.
Don't remind me of college papers, please. I don't know if I could survive another round of those. But I also probably couldn't survive this pitch, as these are, again, some nice shots being formulated here in the NECC Division III. Missouri State playing in survival mode right now, forced to do the reverse sweep, something, Tugboat, you said isn't something favored by any team.
Very true, very true. Obviously, both of these teams going 0-0 into this new season, new semester and whatnot. Nobody wants to take an L here first, but obviously it will not be the end of the day or end of any sort of playoff hopes. I feel like Asher had a better lie on that ball. Teammate may have seen something that old FBI Tugboat did not. Floofers a little bit closer to the ball, maybe a little more boost, maybe a different story, but we're still staring down the barrel of a 0-1 situation. Now, remind me if you can, Missouri State did score first in game number 1, right?
I know they scored first and second in game 2, but game
okay.
1, not sure.
Yeah, I think that was the game that CMU scored first. Obviously, they scored first in the 1-0 overtime win. So this really has been back and forth as well, but generally, team scores first, go forth when points are at a premium. Fantastic block there from Asher.
How many more saves like that can they make, though? Taking a long time to get to that one. Dead ball right in front of the net there for Missouri State, and they're unable to capitalize. Asher's going to do a great job off the ceiling here to force a 50. Floofers has at least another touch here. It sets it right in front of the net here. They'll just clean up themselves.
Oh, clean up on Al Floof. I'll get it done myself. Like you said, no boost necessary for a play like this. Andrew just can't get the flat top of that card onto this one. If that was the case, this ball gets put to the corner, and this defending squad gets that precious seconds, Pyro, to go forth, kind of formulate a little bit of a better defense, or picked up the boost that they have shown prominence for.
Indeed. Floofers high, nearly above Spicy. Asher lands on this one, and it's back through the rotation for them as Topaz tries to find an angle around the opposition. Missouri State starting to see that early equalizer, wondering, will we be found out yet again? Will it be another equalizer to force another OT? And we just can't survive. Seems like the pressure's getting to them. A couple misses there at the end of their possession as Asher turns this around. Demolition on one. The double tap set up off the bar and ready for Floofers to send through.
Yeah, we're staring at Floofer's 5th shot attempt. Obviously a pair of goals, that being their second, one of them assisted by Asher. Yeah, 5 shots attempted, and it's not quite halftime here. 8 seconds away from it to be precise. After a great job rocketing back, first score obviously going the way of Missouri State.
And so it is the lead for CMU Eagles. They can see the finish line now, and it was nearly a whole lot more visible. That shot just didn't find its way through. A lot of players out of boost now as they'll retire to the other side, boost up, and have to play defense.
Maybe a time to have... I mean, that previous play feels a little bit more like a sub-60 play, right? Just purchase possession of ball no matter where the, no matter where it happens to be at the time, and just kind of burn the clock. But they sent this back the other way, and this is an offensive drive that exists because of the back pass. If this is a Missouri State squad that scores on this one, okay, we're now finally going back the other way, maybe a little bit until this is picked up by Andrew. Physical play behind, that's a roller to the right side. Just a little bit to the outside of defenders, as defenders do exactly what they needed to on that play.
Another long ball that will scratch seconds off that clock as Topaz finds themselves a similar flight on it. And long clears can set up good counter plays if you get the right challenge. That one looked good for Topaz until Floofers got their car on it. And that seems to be the case for a lot of these plays. If you can take Floofers out of the equation, the chances are looking a little bit better.
Oh.
Andrew takes on exactly that player and says, send them away.
Mr. 1 and 2, 1 goal, 2 saves, 1 assist, 2 shots. Fantastic done, Andrew. Or fantastically done, excuse me. Andrew putting a little Jansport on a little bit here. 2-2. This has been a very, very familiar situation. This was, exactly 60 seconds the first time we saw this 2-2 situation. And it was like 49 or something like that, Pyro, the second time we saw this 2-2 situation. Feels destined to go back to overtime.
It does, but Asher, one play could make the difference. Oh, man. I really thought that rebound had it. It's just been knockout blow to knockout blow, and somehow both teams still in the ring, ready to serve up sliders. We'll see how this last minute goes, but I have a feeling that players aren't going to be waiting for overtime to try to get that winning goal.
No, definitely not. I mean, you see a little bit of a change, but that is not going to be the change that the CMU Eagles like. Missouri State now taking the lead sub 60 seconds for the first time in this matchup. Every other time it's gone to overtime, they've dropped in that situation. 1 goal difference is obviously 36 seconds to right the ship here for the CMU Eagles. And either, purchase a second one quick or push this to another overtime situation.
That set play off the kickoff with the cheater being so far forward was a great idea for CMU Eagles. Their shot ended up being a little bit wayward, and then there was a miss near the ceiling there that left them kind of out of resources to make a play. So they have to completely start over, and they've only got 10 seconds remaining. A lot relied on that kickoff. Floofers does get 1 touch, but Andrew, full boost. That's actually a great tee up. If anyone's ready for it, it's double commit. Nobody's able to get the shot. Floofers, 1 saving grace play, but Spicy seems to be able to put this to the ground. Missouri State, not done yet.
All 1-score differentials, all decided up until this one. in overtime. Now, this is a little bit more impressive to me because of the way that Missouri State was giving up so many shot opportunities, right? This is a situation that's kind of started within game 2 when, you know, the CMU squad, Central Methodist, was just absolutely dominating the shots attempted. And at a certain point, when you are lacking opportunity to actually shoot net on ball, then you just have to rely on absolutely stout brick wall defenses to keep you within the game, to push you into overtime. And usually that equation is not going to equal out to your favor. Flip the situation right here as we see our first game not go to overtime. And the theme does continue. The team that scored first on this one did go forth and take down the W.
Yeah, and speaking of having to make saves and a lot of defense, I think we saw Topaz on that one game with 7 saves. This time 0. So maybe just not as much pressure, being able to lift this team to a little more of a light game, be a little more flighty, take those shots, get that lead. That is necessary for the win. Game number 5, it's a long road. It's an extended journey that Missouri State will have to take for the win here. But you take it game by game.
Okay.
You take it goal by goal.
And Andrew's going to take this one down definitively. 12 seconds in. And Missouri State maybe showing a little flash of what they just did in game number 4. The reverse sweep, it's a tough one. Well, Pyro just got a little bit easier after the previous game win, of course, to keep them in it. And then an early score flew. Topaz off the nose. Oh, tries for it, and a teammate gets an opportunity, but no goal, at least not off of that attempt.
Asher's got a look here, though. That's full boost on the solo play from the corner. Air dribble nearly turns to a reset. It's right off the corner, but the defense prepared for that one. Yo-Yo Broman's going to find himself behind the play. He's very fortunate to see that off the bar. Floofer's hard shot. That one's in. Tied up again.
Great job. Great job right here. This is maybe a mild breakdown of defensive possession, but really more so it was just Asher reading this really well and getting it to a teammate. Doesn't have to be, put in themselves. Didn't necessarily even have to get to the teammate quickly. Just had a takeaway possession there from the last man back.
We'll see how the response formulates here for Missouri State, as it seemed a little mispositioned there. Shot could have went in if it was on target. Instead, they'll take up that demolition and take their time, I think, as a respawn. And other than the respawn player, nobody has boost, so now they're racing back. And Spicy once again eliminated off the pitch. Demolitions here that are keeping them on their toes. And Yo-Yo Broman was at the midfield boost for a little bit too long. That left wide open here.
Yeah, Asher tries to get up to it. I think they kind of realized how bad a situation this was, but boost picked up. No opportunity there, and it's going to be another Missouri State lead purchased off of a bit of a wayward ball. Gotta admit it. But if you can spin, gold from straw like this over and over again, I just simply don't see a situation like Asher just did to do anything else. So it's high-flying, crazy passes for CMU. It's Missouri State taking advantage of defensive, minor misplacements, right? For the other side, that is the story of its 120 seconds thus far.
I think that's the 3rd attempted set play off the kickoff from CMU Eagles. And for Missouri State, you got to start reading that play. You have to have that 3rd player ready to defend the shot. We see that exact set play at many stages of the RLCS, or of Rocket League, including RLCS. And it is done very well so far by the CMU Eagles. That puts them back in the game. Couple teams here that are just so good at getting the equalizer and punching back, and well, we've got another haymaker thrown. It's Topaz.
Yeah, honestly, CMU, given that it's more difficult to set up these passing plays, right, it just seems like this is the equation here for CMU to bring this one back and kind of keep this scoring just deluge from continuing is just leaving a player back like a tiny little bit. That's a couple just wide open net. Like, obviously it was purchased a little bit better by Topaz, right? It was the follow-up there that ultimately got this one in, but it was a completely other side of the pitch shot that even opened up this opportunity. Big boost picked up here from Floofers, gets out to it, and it's another passing play Asher on the receiving side of this one after Andrew doesn't really get the clear that they really wanted. Yo-Yo Broman just walks the dog all the way around the corner, and the rest of the defense, Missouri State, is nowhere to be found.
Gotta appreciate the disruption plays again from CMU. They're hefty on the bumps. And that last bump there from Floofers to take out the corner defender was the last shot, I guess, as it leads to a tie game. Definitely our highest scoring affair here, and it might just be more. Andrew's ball off the ground there, flips up for Spicy to take right back down. We've got another Missouri State lead.
Physical play, physical play, physical play. Andrew comes in, and honestly, like the last bump right there against Asher kind of looks better, right? But it was just the simple fact of getting over there and presenting the threat of bumping this person, bouncing the guy out of net, right? And it's literally just that goes forth, forces them to not make connection on the ball. Yo-Yo Broman gets another easy one, and my goodness, we have 8 scores in half of a game of Rocket League, PyroJ.
I don't know if Spicy had forgot to check their side mirror, but there was somebody hunting that demo for the last 2 seconds, and they left that ball on the top of their car like a baseball on a T-ball stand. Just be hit right in. That's exactly what happened. So we're tied up 4-4. A lot of goals, maybe one more. Floofers passes it to an otherwise demolished teammate.
Okay.
But the respawn, it's there in time.
Yeah, when demoing goes wrong, great pass. That's going to be a little bit too tall, but Asher comes back to it, can't flip into this one. And it's back to the middle. CMU, there's a back pass here. It didn't bite them previously. That's almost an own goal from Yo-Yo Broman. Could call it a missed shot, call it a backwards pass, call it whatever you want to. That was quite dangerous regardless.
Feels like we're watching the home run derby. Like the defense is just gone. Just lay up some softballs and see how hard you can hit them. Spicy might just take this straight to the net as well, but it's guarded by Asher. And so the defense in the second half maybe a little more showing their face than the first half. Floofers gets a good read on that one. Takes it across the field, but that's a demo on the goal line. And it's again open if anybody can shoot this. Andrew just barely gets around for it.
Yeah, this is a great job from Andrew, realizing, trajectory of ball, speed with which it's going. It's that live calculus that everyone has to do in their heads. If he hits this out early and just tries to chip it in, that's going to hit the side post, and that's going to bounce back out. Especially given their teammate was kind of behind them to the left, like even closer to goal. There's no opportunity to make a play after that. Nicely done. Floofers getting the pressure on early.
Yeah, the pressure's there for Missouri State, but unfortunately for them, they have the lead, but they've got to expect that maybe 5 goals is not enough based on how this game has gone. Floofers not set to collect that pass in time, and then Asher, a late jump, leaves this ball free. Andrew thinks this is quite possibly a goal for me here. Not quite, but you might as well go for the shot if CMU has left the net open so often throughout this game. Floofers gets that pass to go. It's off the post. And we would have had the game tied otherwise.
Yeah, a couple degrees of difference right there. It's the only thing separating us from a tied ball game. Wow, and a low roller that takes a nice bounce against the right side post. Gets in, 2-score differential, 29 seconds to go. Pyro, folks, it's possible. It's going to be tough here in Missouri State. We were talking about how difficult the reverse sweep would be. They are one step closer.
And we've seen a lot of OTs and we've seen a lot of goals. That double kickoff is not going to go for CMU. And their net will be open for Spicy's shot, but it's off target. Floofers trying to lay that down to Yo-Yo Broman. Instead, holds on to it, but neither of them have boost. This is just a tough shot to convert. And they're risking everything they got, but it's just not enough. Andrew's back pass will be collected. Floofers sends forward. Last shot for Yo-Yo Broman. And this ball game will be terminated. Game 5 goes to Missouri State on still CMU's match point.
Taking 2 other games, add them together. At most, you tie the amount of goals in this one. 6-4. And Trio, there you go, the hat trick all over to Andrew. 5 shots attempted, got a pair of saves as well as an assist. So 4 of these 6 goals being participated by in some way, shape, or form by Andrew. A fantastic job. This one just Like you said, defense is optional, right? There are points there where they came at a premium in 5+ minute games earlier, overtime games, right? That was not the situation in this game number 5.
Yeah, defense is optional if you can score that much. I mean, 10 goals in one game is ludicrous, but Missouri State will kind of, you know, pick themselves up and say, let's not do that again. Let's not concede 4 goals again. Let's tighten up that defense, get those comms down, and as well, just be more weary of the bumps and demos. I thought there were probably some goals that shouldn't have happened based on the demos that they did concede. And so cleaning up on that, getting the vision on all sides of the field to go so you can dodge those attacks, that'll shape up for a cleaner game here as we get into number 6.
Yeah, and it was just one goal, like it was definitively purchased like this, but I can't understate it. It can't be like made to seem less important. Sometimes it's just the threat, right? And defender does everything they can to get away from you. While they're doing that, they're not playing ball. 20 seconds into this one, it's a little bit of defense against the CMU Eagles, their regular play style here. Shaken up like just a little bit because they have not gotten any of these huge booming clears that we've become accustomed to. Now, physical play from Missouri State, that's showing up yet again. No surprise there.
It is indeed. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the method here for Missouri State, and likely will be for CMU Eagles as well. But they will collect their own boost, the side of Missouri State. Andrew has the resources as Asher does not, so space provided. Getting past Floofers and Asher presents an opportunity. Topaz being behind the flight there is Spicy off the backboard. Nobody available for the rebound. Couple of nice tries, just won't go through. Asher reset shot off the backboard. Follow from Floofers denied.
And the reason why that's a little bit of an eyebrow raiser for Missouri State is, like, you know, with how physical they've been playing, it almost looks like they intentionally just gave that up and then left Spicy completely by themselves, man on an island. Hard to score like that, especially against a team like the CMU Eagles, like the Central Methodist squad. Take away, Spicy, maybe a 2-on-1 here, down low. Can't quite get it there.
Oh, I saw the vision as well. It's a great dribble play, and Topaz collects the pass, but it's so difficult to get around the defense. Able to find the backboard. Spicy slows down the ball, and Blueford's just trying to find a teammate in this situation. It's going to be Asher called to action. Tip below. Andrew, Yo-Yo Broman, centered ball. Floofers is up off the bar. Yo-Yo Broman, one defender to beat, and Spicy will not be denied, not on that play.
Great job maintaining possession as you ran this down parallel to your goal. It's one of those situations that you know it'll be open up otherwise. Oh, Yo-Yo Broman, another opportunity is, I mean, we talked about earlier, CMU is playing the width of this field very, very well. Down low after a miss, Floofers gets their first goal on their second attempt.
That's why we talk about the possession play, because if you keep it alive for long enough, you might be able to force the mistake. That was a tough ball off the top of the cage there, and the flip just did not make its way to the ball as expected. Floofers was there to punish that mistake. Halfway through the game, a lot less scoring in this one than the last tug, but oh no, there's gridlock for the teammates of CMU. For a moment, they almost watched the ball fly right by.
Always a terrible feeling to get a front row seat to something you did not want to have happen. Asher, reset attempted, ball bounces back into this one. A great job flipping into it and trying to get, like, you know, make that flat, like almost paddle-like play, but it's another miss on the other side. Again, it's hard to really translate how evenly matched these two squads are, especially when they're scoring in pretty much the exact same ways, just tiny, tiny little misplays by the opposite team, and then this squad, the offensive squad in that particular moment, taking advantage of those mistakes.
Ooh, that's a nice ball over to Asher. They're going to opt for the other side of the field. Yo-Yo Broman does successfully get the demo, but the rest of the team hasn't worked the ball up the field in enough time for them to take advantage of it. Long ball here that Yo-Yo Broman will leave for Asher, and Asher will have to retain that boost under 2 minutes to go. There's always been quick equalizers in this game, but the go-ahead goal has always been a little bit tougher. Maybe Floofers can find a teammate. Asher, as third man, commits for the shot. Floofers quite the job to do here to make sure the save is made, but the ball instead goes to Yo-Yo Broman. So Asher flies right by it, gets past one, but through the second remains a tougher task.
Missouri State has shown themselves not to be scared of tripling up in the corner when they need to be. And a lot of these, again, they're like, tiny misplays and a player trying to make contact on the ball off a backboard in front of net, something like this. It hasn't come back to bite them yet, and it's a great job realizing when these situations that are widespread, hated, end up being something that's necessary. As I say, the Spicy doing a great job right here after the CMU squad is just trying to cheat up and get the offensive side a little bit too early. That's technically an own goal, isn't it?
No. Just about. I mean, the intention is to save and the ball goes in, but I just feel like with the 50 combined with Missouri State off that flip reset, every intention was to get that challenge and push it through into the net. Either way, a tough shot, and really nothing that CMU wanted to walk away with.
What?
Now maybe you can convince me that this is an own goal.
Down low, hits it off the hood of the car right here. They're just trying to get down and again get into a different place. So I feel like the similarities continue to sing supreme here. That the idea is to try and get in the offensive position, maybe a little bit early, and you end up cutting in front of the path of the ball to positively influence that trajectory. Tied game yet again, sub 60. Tell me if you've seen this one before, Pyro.
Oh, many a time, but the result remains varied. See who makes it out on top at the end of it. That's an odd ball to be backflipping right in front of your net. Topaz there with no boost, and Spicy uses all the boost just to get into the net. That's a scary position to be in with no boost. Misses it off the backboard. Fortunately, Andrew was the one to cut away the ball. 15 seconds in it. Missouri State feel like they're in survival mode here. Yo, bro, man, can just be happy to see that glowy orb that they can use to try to rip a shot. Spicy full boost to counter it away. Floofer saw the positioning, kicked it off the middle. Once the pass from Asher is going to get it. But instead, the ball will be seen away, and we got OT. Missouri State 1 goal away from dragging this reverse sweep to a Game 7.
Oh, yes. 1 goal away from almost getting it done as well. The other way, that goes be a 4-2. Just really trying to maintain possession. Floofers was. Andrew's got to really capitalize upon this one. Now off the ceiling, gets it there, nose under, realizes how bad that rebound would have been. And its immediate answer, CMU once again, they are great at these cross pitch clears, and it is another 3-2 victory in overtime for the side of the Central Methodist Eagles. They drop a couple of them towards the back half of this best-of-7 series, right? 2-3, no overtime, and then 4-6 in the highest scoring affair in the previous game. But yeah, so it's all one-score overtime wins for the CMU Eagles to help them shut down this 7-game series. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, wild matchup there. That final goal there from Floofers, I thought was emblematic of the whole series because it was actually he was nearly pre-jumping into that dunk, just fully read the attack and full throttle into the dunk that led to the cross-court clear. Floofers, it was a double-edged sword, really, the strategy to amp up the tempo, ramp up the pace, and try to be there in front of every play. We saw them miss the ball because they overextended at certain points and they were conceded on it. So it's that idea of, you know what, I'm going to move as quickly as I can. It'll either work for me or against me. But finally, in the end, they were able to close it out. Yeah, so many overtimes, such a close series, well contested by both teams. And if this is any image of what's to come here, Tugboat, of the rest of the spring semester, I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Getting this done in week number 1. We're front-loading all of our action here, Pyro. No, there'll be plenty more of that to come. Specifically, here on the day, we have the Arcadia Knights taking on the PSU Black Squad. That is Penn State, of course, that is Nittany Lions. One of their squads, obviously, here within this one of their squads within the ACC. That will be a Division 6 matchup. And again, a battle of Pennsylvania, right? Your home state, am I wrong?
No, you're not. Penn State and Arcadia. Penn State, a little more central. Arcadia, very much east. I'm over on the west side, but still very happy to see who in the state's going to come out on top there.
I am as well. A short break for us, folks, as we will set that up. Give us about 5 minutes. We'll be back with that second matchup. Hands together here for the CMU Eagles, getting this one done in 6-4-2 fashion. FBI Tugboat, PyroJ, back with you in just a minute.